What is up, everyone? What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome to the smoking section. Yeah, back and better every single time. And you know what? Apologies as I'm trying to get this as I'm trying to get this stream set up. Um it's been a wild ride here these last few weeks, and I kind of want to give everybody a little update on where I am. Uh I feel like it's been so long since I've just been able to check in with everyone. Um, the podcast took some wild, crazy, crazy turns. Um, but like you gotta sometimes you just gotta bury your head down. Sometimes you just gotta put your head down. Like, I'm trying to get this whole fucking thing set up. I don't know why my laptop took a shit like this on me. 483. All right. But yeah, no, the podcast has been fucking insane recently. Like, I feel like the last time I really spoke on a solo tip, last time I spoke to everyone on a solo tip. Oh my god, I think I had barely moved into the apartment in Oxnard. Um, it had to have been like fucking January, probably like February, maybe, or even January of 2020. Yeah, 23. Yeah, of 2023. So long over a year ago was the last time I checked in with everybody. So fuck, where do I start? So I had moved to North Carolina. People who may or may not know. Um yeah, I had moved to North Carolina. I was living there for a while, living out of my sister's house. Love you so much, sis. Yeah, thank you so much for supporting me during that time. Um, yeah, so there was the North Carolina vibes. I ended up on the road again working. I mean, and especially for people who follow the usual Tuesday and have, we've spoke about a lot of this stuff at length. Um, what else? Oh, yeah, so come around Marchish, Aprilish time. I ended up moving back to Cali. You know, there was just too much here that I couldn't just simply walk past or move past. Um, and yeah, brought me back home, and it's been rough since being back home. A lot of you guys know, I work in construction and blue collar dude, you know what I'm saying? Um, and it's rough though, like especially for my dudes who do find themselves in the solar industry. They can attest. It's rough, man. Especially the summer. It's when you have the most sunlight, and our job is based off of the sunlight, and so if the sun's shining, we're out there working. So you get these 12, 13, 14 hour days, man, and it's rough. It's rough. I'll be out in canyon country sometimes out here in Cali. And anybody who knows, like, canyon country, Porter Ranch, Santa Clarita, Valencia is fucking hot. It was so fucking hot that I have an infrared camera, right? When you take the picture of something, right? It's a FLIR fucking infrared camera, and when you take the picture of something, it shows you the temperature it's at. Yo, I took a picture of one of my tools that I had left sitting in the sun for a little too long. I took a picture of it, and it was reading 127 degrees Fahrenheit. That's that shit I be doing 5 times a week minimum, sometimes 6. Um, for example, they got us working the next 3 Saturdays, like, straight, and then, I have the 21st off, and Imma be going to Chino. Yeah, I'm gonna be going out here to Chino, Cali, um, on a powwow tip, handling some of my Native American, uh, responsibilities and duties to the community, man. Shout out my dude Jimmy. It got me involved, and I recently actually did a performance here in Oxnard for the Port Hueneme City Council. Um, so yeah, that's kind of been fun to kind of be diving back into like my roots and my culture. Um, People who know me know like I've sat around and drummed and sang and danced since I was, knee high to a grasshopper. But nowadays, it gets hard because again, like you're working these long hours and blah 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 blah. And next thing, this event pops up on the weekend and it's like, yo, fam, like I got clothes to wash. Like, oh shit. So it feels good to be back in the circle, back in the arena, um, kind of back where I belong, you know. Crumpin is picking up again. Um, it was really hard for me to dance while I was on the road. Just again finding the time between work and then sometimes too, like some of the cities I would visit. Now I really appreciate Ohio and the hospitality they showed me, and also Texas and the hospitality they showed me. And I will say those two areas were very active as well. Um, but there's stretches of land, you know in Cali, once you hit North Hollywood, it's like every hour you drive south, there's another fucking group, you know? So I could drive damn near to fucking Mexico and go across 4 or 5 different, territories of crump. Where when I was like in Minnesota and I was in the St. Cloud area, it was really easy, like just to get right there to Minneapolis. Um, Texas too, like Texas was a weird one because I was in a lot of different places of Texas. And so, I could be in San Angelo, which is a few hours from Austin. And so I could be in Austin by the weekend. Um, I was even near Houston at one point, and I was even near like I was in the Houston area. I think it was Angleton, Angleton, Texas is about an hour or so, some change, I think, south of Houston. Um, I've been in like some of the bigger areas where an hour drive for me to a session isn't hard, right? Like I do that here, no problem. Like no, lickety split 1 2 3. Matter of fact, let me text Beast real quick. Let's see if we have a session. Because if not, I'm gonna take the night off. But then I'm also in places like Pecos, right? Pecos, Texas, which it was like 3 hours to the nearest fucking movie theater, and they had 4 fucking fast food joints, and that's it. It was bullshit. Sorry, I'm texting Sherwin. I'm texting Beast to see if there's going to be a Beast Camp Lab tomorrow. Beast Camp, bitch, y'all know the deal. Um, but yeah, no. So like, I would be in Pecos, and so it's like hours, hours to the nearest session. So being home and throwing the Friday joints, and getting the community back in. We got some new heads out here now. There's like 3 new dudes who are 3 new guys who are pulling up and showing up to these sessions, and I just remember when it used to be just me and my squad, right? Like me and my boys. And so now we got new guys and it's exciting. Um so for anybody who watches this, like if you want to come learn crump, if you want to get some experience battling, or even just experience the session, right? Like not even dance, just experience what a crump session feels like. Come by. Yeah, come by. Like it's so much fun. Bring the kids. Like, it's a kid-friendly place. Like, I know I smoke a lot of weed and this, that, and the third, but it's like it's a kid-friendly place. It's somewhere where they're safe. I bring my kids all the time. Um, and I would rather them be there than anywhere. You know what I'm saying? What else? What else has happened? Um, oh, I took Corpse Collection offline. Yeah, I'm bringing it back. I'm here to announce that I'm going to be bringing that back. Um, I got some stickers on hand right now. I'm getting some new shirts on hand. Really working to rejuvenate and revitalize the brand. Um, I feel like I put it on the back burner way too much. Um, especially like once I started going ham on the pod. Holy smokes! I damn near forgot how to dance. Never forgot the sweet taste of Burger King though. But yeah, no, I felt like I almost forgot how to dance. But I know, somebody like me, it just takes me, 2-3 weeks and I'm back in the full swing of it. Oh, that's something new too. Um, hope to be performing at Welcome to the 805, put on by Byron Bukau and Ricky Cole. Yeah, Alias Dance Fam and Soul Fresh Dance Fam. Um, I remember doing the first one. I was one of the OGs who did the first one, and I remember going around Santa Barbara, um, school districts, and we were doing like these little school shows for the kids and stuff, and it was so fun. And I just remember thinking like I could do this every day of my life. Going to each school, dancing in front of the kids, answering questions, or just hanging out and chit chatting afterwards, with fellow artists of the craft. Like there's a special there's a special space that you find yourself in when you're an artist and you're amongst fellow artists of your craft. And there's this weird space when you guys are talking and like you start like seeing the ideas running through their head. They start talking about something and like the wheels start spinning, and I just love that. I love watching an active mind. There's a weird satisfaction I get out of watching people dream. Like when they're laying there, they're asleep, but their eyes are like moving crazy. I was always told that, oh, that's how you know they're dreaming, right? Even though they might not remember these dreams, they're dreaming. And I feel that creators like that motion creators and even painters, but especially those break dancers, crumpers, choreographers, all this stuff. There's this weird like disassociation you'll see them go into, and their eyes just kind of start wiggling, and I can tell they're dancing in their head. I'm watching it happen, like and it's like, hey dog, like I just want to be like, hey dog, you good? Like, I want to put on a track or what? Especially when I see the homies and they're like fucking standing there like just fucking. It's like, hey bro, you want me to play a track, dog? You look like you're trying to get off. Like, it looks like you're trying to fucking get your rocks off, dog. And of course, I have to shout out Alien Labs. I know they're a little bit of a bougie brand, a little more on the expensive side, but ooh wee, boy, let me tell you, it's good stuff. Um, yeah, so hope to be performing on stage again here soon. Clearing my time for that, so a lot more performing, a lot more dance coming back into my life, which is exciting. I I really missed that thrill of preparation. You know, um, there's every dancer loves to perform. Every dancer loves to be on stage and have that spotlight hit them, right? That's kind of like what we do it for, like as conceited as that might sound, or like, whatever hot keyword you want to insert there. But we love that. All dancers love that. I don't. I think everyone loves it. When a couple minutes out of your day, you get to be the center of attention, and there's a point that you have to hit, if you ask me, that you have to hit as a dancer if you want to be good, like good, undeniably, like no questions, like well, no, like undeniably, like there has to be a point where you fall in love with the cleaning, right? And in dance terms, the cleaning is when you get your troupe together and you hit the 5, 6, 7, 8, 15, 16, 17 different times, practicing a certain segment of your routine. Um, and I remember like I would go move by move by move with the squad, like move by move, 5, 6, 7, 8, boom, 5, 6, 7, 8, boom, 5, 6, 7, 8, boom, 5, 6, 7, 8, boom. All right, now put it together. 5, 6, 7, 8, boom, 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 boom. Like like, and if it doesn't look right, like no, let's again, let's try this from the top. 5, 6, 7, 8, boom. 5, 6, 7, 8, boom. 5, 6, 7, 8, boom. All right, let's just do that three. 5, 6, 7, 8, boom, boom, boom. Like over and over, and you might only get through 2 8 counts in an hour's practice. You might get through 4 8 counts in 2 hours, and it just depends on how, like, again, if the whole team is bought into that to love it, it goes by fast. If they're responsible enough to just kind of briefly go over the moves at home, it becomes faster, right? But then there's also those times where, you know, it takes 2 practices to get through a piece. It takes 3 whole practices to get through a piece. And it's, that's kind of the points where as a teacher, you have to evaluate how you teach people. Like you're obviously teaching in a way that's not sticking, and that sucks to kind of like have to acknowledge about yourself. But so like I miss that. I miss that hunger to be clean, that hunger to the repetition over and over and over and over. I miss fucking up at practice and doing my push-ups, and feeling growth, right? Not always, not even though there might be times I can't see it, and people who are in the gym know that feeling, right? Like we first go in and in 3 days we're kind of like, fuck, dog, I can feel it, right? Even though you can't really see it, it's not really there yet, but you can feel it. You feel the beginning of the tear of that muscle, which is going to get you to that place where you want to be, um I guess I'm more than excited. I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited to have the chance to be on stage again. um what else is new? Usual Tuesday is taking off. Shout out my boys from the Usual Tuesday. We were supposed to record this week, but we had some scheduling stuff that had to be taken care of, and it is what it is. Um, if I can give anybody some advice on something like that, right? So with the Usual Tuesday, there's 3 of us, 3 young gentlemen. Some of us are fathers. We all work. The wifey thing going on, whatever. Um, and I've known some of my other friends who've started podcasts with their buddies, and not to brag or sound facetious, I think we've done well. We made it through a whole year of episodes, longer than a year's worth of time, but we have a year's worth of episodes, recording once a week, and it has, um, I think the one thing where we have been able to execute the best. There's times when, one of us is sharing a lot of stuff. There's another time where this one's sharing a lot of stuff, and then I'm sharing a lot of stuff, and we go through our phases, right? But I think our greatest attribute is that we know that when it's time for us to do our own stuff, we're all very cool with it, right? Like, even though there might be times we kind of press it a little hard because it's like, damn it, man, like, fuck. Especially like these weeks where we have to go back to back, like we go like 2 weeks without recording. Those suck because I get a little antsy sometimes too. Um, but at the same time, and I've voiced this to them before too, is like, family first. These other things first. Like, this podcast is great and I have fun doing it, right? But if I'm worried about the viewers, losing interest or this and that, like, are they really fans of the movement? Like, are they really down with the show, or are they just fucking showing up? Like, you know what I mean? Um, because I don't think any of us have really taken time off to do like other shit. Like, I don't think any of us have just been like, nah, I ain't feeling it, you know? Just like cop out, like, like a cop out excuse. Like, there's always been like, oh, it's a birthday, or oh, I have this, or picking up family from the fucking airport, or gotta watch the kids, mom's sick, or it's their birthday or something. Like, we understand the limitations of our commitment, you know. Um, and if you know me, I'm all about my obligations. Um, what else? Elijah started first. Elijah started first grade. Little fucker got sent home with a fucking he got sent home with a note already for being a little chatty patty in class. Little fucker. I'm gonna get on that little boy's noggin, man. You know, I love my kiddo, and I think he's the best ever. But he's a fucking talker. I wonder who he gets it from. So, uh, that's been fun. It's been fun too to watch him grow and just grow up to this young little dude that he's becoming. He's so fucking cool now. Like, he's past kisses and hugs and stuff in front of his buddies and shit. He's so fucking cool. Um, but yeah, no, he's a chatty patty like his dad. He's just fucking. He'll talk to anyone. Like, is like one thing I worry about with him growing up is I've noticed, right? And I come from a broken household, right? So I think statistically, I think I have a good gauge on kids, like, like a lot of us young bucks these days, we are parents coming from broken households, right? And so a lot of us are doing trying to do the work to make sure our children don't feel that, right? And we're also doing the work to make sure that, if it does happen, if our children are to suffer from a broken home, that we're doing our best to be more communicative and more cooperative with our co-parents. I do see that in the zeitgeist more now than ever. So I say all that to say my son comes from a very peculiar household, and I worry about him and his social abilities. He is not a flagrant child, right? He doesn't say mean jokes to kids or bully anybody, right? He doesn't do anything purposely to offend anyone, I don't think. But he is such a fucking social butterfly. He is such and he's been raised to never judge people, right? Which I just in 20 years I think might be an issue, because it's like, hey, baby, like, you can't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it was last year or the year before. He was like teaching the kid how to do the middle finger, right? And it's kind of funny, but it's like, Hey, boy, little boy, you can't be doing that shit, dog. Like, what? So he's very compelling. You, I don't know if this is kind of coming across the right way. Is he's very compelling. He's socially like there. You know what I mean? Like he makes friends with the kids who might not have all the friends. And then I also feel like he's also in with the cool kids, like at his little private school, there's like 20 kids that are in his class, like less, right? Less than 20 kids in his class. And so he's gonna go like so forward thinking, I'm looking at it, it's like, yo, he's gonna go and be in the same social cast most of his life, right? And so these kids that he's running around with, the mischief and shit that they're going to get into is going to be them. And I just see Elijah as one of the ones who's down to do it. Like he wouldn't be the main culprit, but I'll be damned if he wouldn't be an associate with him, little fucking future convict. Nah, but I can definitely see him getting caught up with his little buddies later on. And it's not because they're bad kids, not because of this, right? But just because they're social butterflies. And like him and all his little buddies, right? Like I talked to all of them and I kind of like, oh, okay, like they're smart, you know? Like they're smart. And so little kids find shit to get into. And I just see him getting into some shit. His dad was a social butterfly. His mom found herself in all kinds of groups of friends, different walks of life, right? And we both like I hung out with cholos. I hung out with gangsters. And so I was not a bad person. I wasn't the person to, you know, I'm not the criminal mastermind person, but I was down to ride with the homies because they're the homies, right? Like, fuck it. And I think Elijah might have some of that in him. Long story short. Um, and it's because I see so much of myself in him. Yeah. And the older he gets now, the more I see it. And it's fucking scary. So that's new. What else? Penelope getting big, little girl. She doesn't even like to hang out with me. Like she likes to come over because she knows she's gonna have a good time. She's gonna play on the jump house and boom, boom, boom. But it's like, oh, baby, you want to sit and watch a movie? No, no, thanks. No, she'll go, no quieres. Or no quiere. It's like, oh, okay. Like you don't wanna sit on daddy's lap? Oh no, no, thank you. So, okay. And so yeah, she's just got like her little girlfriend. Yeah, her and Lily just go fucking running around doing their own thing. And it sucks, for everyone who knows the story, it sucks. But you get used to it, you adjust, and I just have to remember, like, though I wish my relationship with her was maybe a little deeper, the depth of it, right, is still to be determined. And I've just caught her in a phase where, she wants to go play makeup with her girlfriends. She wants to play fucking hair. She wants to brush her hair, and I don't do hair brushing. It's just like it's very foreign to me. The daughter thing, is very foreign, and so I try to tag in, but if she's not with it, it's cool. I give her space. And that might prove to be detrimental to me later. Who knows? I don't know, but I just know when she's doing her thing, it's like, okay, baby. But she'll come and show me like, oh, daddy, look, and I'm like, I make sure to do the so pretty. You guys look so fancy, so lovely. See, you have the loveliest hair. You just have, woo, woo, woo. But that's been fun, and like learning how to be a girl dad because I always wanted to be a girl dad after I had Elijah. Like having my boy is great, and everyone knows who knows me and has seen me with Elijah knows I love my boy. but I've begged for a daughter since then. And so it's, you know, people think just because you want to be a parent that it's going to make it easy. Or the want to be a parent is makes it like, I don't know, like more achievable or something. Um I didn't want to be a parent at all. No, I like one day I did, but especially at that time during my life, I was like, "Oh no, 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 no." So to kind of find myself and find it right as this pregnancy went on, and after he was born, it was like, oh snap, like, oh yeah, I can do this dad thing, like this dad thing, I got it, I got this. This is good, like this is cool, you know. Uh, I was so worried about like my position with my child at that time, and so you learn to let like none of that shit matters, none of that shit really matters. Um, so with her, it's like I'm just glad that I know there's X, Y, and Z stuff that just don't matter. You know, anyone who's a parent really knows like your kids don't care about a lot of shit. They just want to be with you and they just want to have a good time. They just want to play. They just want to fucking play. you know? I remember I had Elijah at the fucking park one time and I was trying to be like just lovey on him and give him kisses, and I was feeling away that day. And I remember like he was like pulling away from me and he goes, I was like, what, baby? I'm just trying to love on you. Right? Like what? And he goes, Dad, I'm just trying to play. All right. All right, dude. Sorry. Sorry. Like, I'm sorry. Go play. Like he knows that he knows I love him. I know he loves me. He's like, dude, I'm just trying to go play though. Like, so kids don't give a fuck about none of that other shit. They just want to play. They want to hang out and just feel loved, and seeing all that fucking hunky dory shit. So with her, I just give her the space to go play. And when she calls my name, I'm there, ready to field it. That's been new. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I think I've almost touched on everything. I don't want to speak on it very publicly like this quite yet. But I got some really cool podcasts coming up. They're all very tentative still. Busy people, require their time and space. And I want their time and I want their space. And so I'm hoping to really like manifest it. You know what I mean? Like I've been put into the positions to converse with these people and kind of pitch my ideas and pitch the pod to them. So like the rest is in my arena now, right? It's in my court. And I had somebody ask me to like, because they were talking about my dude Jesse Sykes and my guy Andrew Batterina and Riot, like some of these big name dancers, like, oh, how did you go about talking to them? I was like, that I just shot my shot. Like, some of these guys, though, these guys I've known for a while. Jesse Sykes I didn't really know like that. But some of these dudes I've been knowing for a while. And I look up to them and they know that. Like, I respect their craft. I think one thing as creators, and especially like those of us who don't have that platform quite yet, you know, um, like you're still you though. Like it's still an honor. It's still a privilege to have a conversation with you, right? And so I think of it the same way with me. Like I am still a worthy person of a conversation. I'm still X, Y, and Z, you know? And so just because I'm not a Joe Rogan or a Tony Hinchcliffe or, Breaking Points or the Daily Wire, right? Like, people are going to look back at this podcast and be like, yo, I was on that. Like, oh, I was on episode, what episode were you on? Oh, I was on episode, 233, bro. That's crazy. Oh shit, man. That's right before he got that big deal. Like, oh yeah, man. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like, you know, don't despise a small beginning and be humble. Like, like people be like, oh, you still do your little podcast? I'm like, bitch, what you mean little? Check the analytics. I'm worldwide, baby. I'm on 8 different motherfucking streaming platform, motherfucker. 8 different motherfucker. 8 different motherfucking streaming platform, motherfucker. Oh, worldwide, motherfucker. you know? Right, bitch. Talk to me. Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. And again, for people who listen to the story 100 times, I'm gonna say it for the 101st time. It all just started off my phone. I was just talking into my phone. Just trying to let my thoughts escape my head, so they quit rattling around in there all night long. Just shoot your shot. Just shoot the shot, Jordan Peterson, shout out, has so many DMs for me. I'm waiting for him to block me. Him, Tulsi Gabbard. Like, I have messaged religiously. Please come on the podcast. Please come. I love you. Please come on the podcast. Please, definitely Tulsi. I'm like, oh, I love you. But I just over and over and over and over again. Hopefully one day they open it up and like, yeah, dude, what's up? But I just shoot the shot. I have a potential, right, where somebody was like, yo, he would love to have you on, and you just take a second and pitch your pod. And I think my strength I think my strength with the podcast is that I've allowed it to evolve. And I would say that too with podcasters and creators, right? Something new, I guess, that's been coming up lately with me is I've been noticing the agents of my matrix, right? Let me hit the weed real quick before I get into this one. Because this one, I think this one's gonna shake people up a little bit, and I hope it makes everyone look around a little bit. Is I've noticed the agents of my matrix, right? So let's talk about the matrix, right? Computer simulation, right? It's got us under control, right? The movie. I know for a fact that there's an elevated level of existence for me, right? And I know it to be for you too. I've experienced feelings on this planet, in this reality, that I knew where I could do more, see more, move faster, right? And be who I am 100%. And more now recently, I've noticed people and things who are the agents of my matrix, right? Like, think of the movie. The agents were programs of the matrix who were supposed to keep people enslaved into this repetitive cycle of life and existence. And I can't prove, now this is a whole different conversation, is I can't prove anyone exists. I can barely prove my own existence. So if I am existing, and if I was to be in a matrix, there's people who I've encountered as of late where I can tell that they are clearly knocking me out of my balance, or they're clearly feeding me derogatory remarks to either inhibit or undermine, right? What's up, Big Riot? My dog, I was just shouting you out on this motherfucker. Yo, shout out to Big Motherfucking Riot in the building, Dead Prez. Yo, you guys got to watch his battle that he just had at the playgrounds. Oh my God, the dude went off. But hold on. Right, I'm gonna get to you right now, my boy. So I've just been noticing people who are agents, like who are trying to hold you back, you know. And so here very recently, I've noticed the people and have noticed the situations and the things that are hindering. I don't even want to say hindering because I know I can navigate around it, right? I have friends now that I grew up with, not very far from here, very far from this very location, who some are dead, some are lost to the street. You got me, and then I have friends who are making more money than I think they could have ever imagined, right? Like six-figure earning, right? Like so when I when I think, my boy, I ain't trying to put nobody on blast, but my guy, um, so when I think is what victim of what matrix, what agent of your matrix did you fall victim to, right? Like think about the movie, right? And especially if you watched all the movies. The Oracle and the one who could see into the future and all this other stuff was then consumed later on by the Matrix and the agents of the Matrix. So what agent of your Matrix did you allow to knock you off your square? You know, I remember starting the brand and people like, oh, most businesses fail in the first 5 years. Right. And then I started a podcast. He's got a little podcast, whatever. I stepped towards the crump stuff. Wanted to learn how to crump at fucking 25 years old, right? So I'm just saying is if we listen to these agents, and what's crazy is sometimes they will take the form of your partners, your best friends, your parents, your brothers and sisters. These people may so this is for me to say that they actually exist. Everyone's fighting their own agents of their own matrix, right? Like if we're all having our own separate reality. So I don't ever want to write people off, right? And say like you're bad, but you got to recognize the people that you're around who are suffocating your dreams and who are trying to, I wouldn't like, and it's crazy to say it this way, but keep you enslaved to the mundane, right? And understand find your Nebuchadnezzar, like find your Morpheus, find your Trinity, find your mouse, right? Find Tank and Dozer. Find your tribe. Yeah, find that little tribe of people who are trying to break free, my guy. Like, it's one thing that's kind of kept me away from a lot of people that I know, but like the Crump community as a whole, right? Like it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. But there's just a good chunk of people who I associate with and who I find myself and who I have found myself around that are a little too much into the gossip for me. And that fucks with my ability to be who I am, right? I just want to dance. Like, unless you have a personal beef with me, bro, I really don't give a fuck. Like, I'm just here to dance, dog. Like, we're dancers. Right? Or you want to hit me with like, oh, your little podcast. It's like, dog, you don't even need to subscribe, bro. Like, you don't even need to ask me about it, honestly. Like, I'll tell you about it though, and I'll send you all the episodes if you want me to, but you really ain't gotta do that. You really ain't gotta do that, bro. Like, you don't even have to bring it up. Like, you can just pretend it don't even exist. You know? Like if you're going to be that way. Or the clothing. Like, oh, you still run your little clothing brand? Like, you still shop at Target? Like, bro, it's cool. Like, it's cool. Like, people, I like, they say these things, though it's like a filler in conversation, but little do they know, like, they're perceived as an agent of my matrix, and I will combat it at all costs. I will combat the fuckery at all costs. Um, too many people, too many of my own friends, right? I clearly saw it as agents of a matrix that was like, you try to tell them over and over, like, bro, we gotta tighten up, like, dog, you gotta, like, bro, like, no, 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 like, we gotta do better, and they just don't have the discipline, right? Like, I think that was the, I think that was a, I think that was a lesson in the Matrix that we kind of overlook. Um, there was a point in the first movie where Cypher goes to one of the agents and makes a backroom deal to be reinserted into the Matrix. Um, a task that the main protagonist group didn't even realize was possible. So you got to think, every day from that moment when they realized that was a possible route, every day after that they stuck with it. They still said, nah, fuck that. They still said, my freedom, you know they still said, my freedoms is better than this bondage and safety that you can provide me. Um and I think that's been like, listen, I've been smoking some weed lately and it's good, but that is one of those things I've just been on, like, really trying to take heed and take notice of who's serving what in my life. Because again, just like Agent Smith, like, he was changing from person to person, time to time. Like, these agents can pop up at random, you know, and so, are these people serving my best interest? And it feels shallow to even say it, but sometimes you do have to take, like, an accounting of who's doing what in your life. And I think that's why, like, nowadays I hear, I mean, maybe it's because, social media, you just see more of people's woes and their wins there, but I don't think that, and I just don't think back in the day people worried about these type of things as much as we do now, right? Like, people challenged the status quo back then, and people kind of kept things pretty straightforward. I feel like back then, I feel like there just wasn't enough layers to hide behind back then, you know. Um, because even though social media is the era of exposure, like, literally exposure on all levels, um, I just feel like people can hide really well still with social media. There's still a lot that they can hide behind, you know. But no, I'm trying to weed it out. I'm trying to weed it out of my life. But yeah, cool little. I hope everybody can run with that. Yeah, I hope everybody can run with that. As I sign out tonight. Notice who are the agents of your matrix. Yeah. Do check-ins. Check in with yourself. Check in with your squad, man. Like, I I carry a lot. Yeah. I think, like, how we all do. I carry a lot, and I just want other people to know, like, it is okay. Like, no matter how big your following list gets or how many viewers you ever have, or whatever, like, you have the space to come check in. Like, you have the space to turn on. Like, if you're a streamer and you're cutting on that camera, like, you have the space to talk to the people who are listening. Like, and even if they're listeners for the first time, they could be like, "What the fuck is this?" You know what this is? This is a human being checking in with other human beings. And I don't know, I'm good. Yeah. Like, I know you haven't heard from me personally in a while. I've been called a lot of things here on the internet. I've been called a lot of things, been called a lot of names, but it's all good. Like, I'm good. Like, I don't waste my time. Um, but no, dancing, working, traveling, fighting the good fight, doing the Lord's work. Um, Shout out Brian. Yeah, my dude Brian Mejia. You know I love you, brother. Shout out Riot. Shout out everybody who's checked in. Um, there was actually like a lot of comments across the different platforms. So I'm really sorry if I don't ever get to you guys. Some of your guys' stuff. Um, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. And I hope I don't offend when I tell anyone this. Say this, but when I'm doing the live, right, I'm trying to have a conversation right here, talking. So if I miss your comments, I'm trying to get better about it. But there was a lot tonight. Shout out Twitch. There was a lot of comments coming through on Twitch. I peeped that. So thank you. I hope everybody has a good day. Hope we have a good week, month, year, life. Yeah, this has been the smoking section with your host, Big Corpse. This is episode number 166. Yeah, so I'm going to be coming out with some new content, new interviews. Yeah, stick with me. This is the beginning. I'm going to do some more check-ins. Yeah, going to be bringing a different vibe. Yeah, heading into 2025, new vibes. Uh, yeah, hope you have a good day, week, month of your life. Until next time, I'll see all y'all on the flip side. Yeah, stay motivated.